I'm Diana Manlove. I live in Park Hills, Missouri. I'm 70 years old, almost 71. Um, I was doing okay, but I was fighting several autoimmune things, and I could not get the inflammation controlled in my body. And Dr. Olivero was actually talking to my husband about getting the stem cell therapy for tremors. And I was listening to what he was saying, and I thought maybe that would help me. And so then I talked to Dr. Olivero, and he was very encouraging. I hadn't known anyone that had had stem cell done except for maybe in a joint. But this, for me, was systemic, not specific to a certain joint or anything. It was just throughout my whole body. And I had that done in January, and in March, I noticed my energy level was just back, and my stress level was down, which was amazing to me because stress is such a influencer of your blood pressure and all this other stuff. Well, my blood pressure's better. I'm just feeling so much better and able to stand on my feet working for hours now. It's nothing to get in 7,000 steps in a day, where I used to be lucky to do 3. And my vision is improving. I had developed double vision, and it is slowly getting better. I had tinnitus real loud in my ears and had seen the ear guy. And of course, there's not much they can do for it, but the tinnitus is almost gone. It's still there, but it's almost gone. Recently, I had developed psoriasis. Went to the dermatologist, and she said, yes, you have psoriasis, and didn't put me on a protocol or anything, but I was lotion and itch medicine, and for the last month, the psoriasis has started really improving, and I've noticed my knees and elbows aren't hurting anymore like they were. So that is a great benefit from the stem cell treatment. Most of my life, I haven't slept well, and that's tied into your cortisol levels. And when I started seeing a functional physician and he was talking to me, he said, well, your cortisol cycle's all off. And it would be every evening around 6 o'clock, I would start getting hot, which is what you're supposed to do in the mornings. But to me, it would hit at night, and that made it really hard to sleep. Well, I noticed this last month, I'm not getting hot at night in the evening anymore. I'm not stripping off my shoes and socks and taking off sweaters. I'm comfortable and I'm sleeping better. So that's a great thing. My understanding is there's many different stem cell therapy procedures. The one I had involved drawing out, I think, 6 tubes of blood, and somehow they grew stem cells out of those blood that they took out, and then re-injected the stem cells into me. I believe some people have their fat drawn out, and the fat can produce stem cells, but for me it was just blood. So they were up all night working their magic. I don't know how they do it, but they drew the blood out one morning, and the next morning I came back and got the stem cell therapy. My husband was here while I was getting the IV infusion therapy, and Dr. Olivero is a talker. He likes to share the successes he's had and encourage people. And so he was talking to my husband, and my husband has the essential tremors. And telling him how it would really help him. Well, my husband is very stubborn and he won't do anything. But I listened, and then I talked to Dr. Olivero about the inflammation, and he assured me that the procedure would help with the inflammation. Right, because at first it was the aborted babies, and I'm anti-abortion, and so I would have never done that. But you did hear about the science and how the stem cells could do this and could do this and could do this, but then it was like you just didn't hear much about it anymore. And so when he told me he would use my own blood, it didn't have to be a placenta blood or anything like this. He could take my own blood and grow the stem cells and then put my own stem cells back in me. I was like, well, that's not going to hurt me for sure. And I was very comfortable with that. So I feel healthy and vibrant. I do feel much, much better. I was just able to do so much more around our house, and we're getting ready to sell the house. So there was a lot to be done. Got with my brother-in-law, we got his wood chopper, and we split a whole pile of wood, and I revamped my garden area. And this was back in March when the weather was nice. I did so much stuff outside. I was surprised at how much endurance and strength I had, and it has just continued. So I'm very, very happy about it. I had gotten, actually before I started getting the infusions, I could not stand through a worship service at church. I had to stay seated. I was that bad. And to now be able to do 8,000 steps a day, it's just remarkable to me. So it was a big risk, and we aren't wealthy by any means. We're both retired state employees, so we're not rich. And my husband and I, we really talked about it, we prayed about it, and decided it was worth the investment. I didn't tell anybody really about the procedure until in March, when I was feeling so much better. Because when I couldn't see anything, there was no evidence in my mind. So in March, I started telling people, well, I'm feeling so much better, and this is what I did. But people are still very skeptical, and you need to talk to Dr. Olivero and have him explain it. He explains it very well. His credentials are out there. I'm just extremely happy I had it done.